Welcome back to SolidWorks Live at the SolidWorks Live studio in the 3D Experience Playground at 3D Experience World 2020.
That's right.
That was a really cool conversation we just had with with Dean Kamen, and I'm joined right back in the studio now with Suchit Jain with SolidWorks to talk about community. Suchit, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for me, yeah.
Suchit, every year you get one of the coolest opportunities at 3D Experience World. You get to work with all the cool stuff our community is up to.
Absolutely, yes.
So tell us a little bit about what that's like for you when you come to an event like this.
Yeah, so I hope some of the people watched the general sessions this morning where I kind of did a 360 on our community. And, it's really about celebrating our users because that's what it's all about. And we have, I talked about over 6 million users in our community using SolidWorks and our software and tools like that. Over 4 million students using. Students are a big part of our community education. Dean Kamen was earlier. I mean, as a big hero of mine, I'm a FIRST mentor myself. My kids are involved in FIRST. So we at SolidWorks with our users are a big part of FIRST community as well. So that's one angle on the education. We also showcased our startups. Pitch battle was very exciting. So those are in there too. And we have this saying inside. We have actually a department called early engagement.
Yeah.
And the idea is we need to engage early. And as early as when kids are 4 years old, apps for kids.
Yeah, it used to be a long time ago, or maybe it wasn't a long time ago, we used to call it education. And early engagement is a much better way because it's not just about education, it's about innovators as well.
That's
and
right.
Entrepreneurs. Maybe somebody out there didn't go to school to be an engineer, but they have an idea and they want to figure out how to bring that idea to market. And that's what you're really getting involved with.
Yeah, because look, as you said, rightly said, innovation starts early. And when you're a kid, you and me, we are very constrained. We have learned too much. And the unlearning is very hard to do. But the kids don't have that. So the innovation happens at an early age, and we need to engage early. You mentioned a very interesting thing about even kids who can innovate, and maybe they're not even graduated from high school. And we see that. I travel quite a bit, and I'll give you an example of. In fact, we are big in Fab Labs as well.
Yeah.
So what is credited as Fab Lab 0, where kind of everything started, is a place in India called Vigyan Ashram out of near. If you guys know the geography a little bit in western part of India, in Pune near Pune area, and it's amazing. They do grassroots innovation entrepreneurship because they take kids out of the village, and it doesn't matter what grade school they are in. And they give them problems, six months, they teach them everything, how to make everything. And then for them to they graduate by solving a problem of one of the villagers or one of the common problems, and that's how they graduate.
Wow.
So it's early engagement, entrepreneurship, startup, innovation, they all go together. Very nice.
You get to meet some of the coolest people, and you're involved in some of the coolest things at 3D Experience World. I mean, when I look around this room, a lot of this is what you're the people you're getting involved with. For example, we have 3D Experience for Good over here.
Oh, absolutely.
You get to engage with these folks. The Fab Lab you had just mentioned over here. So lots of opportunities. What are some of the highlights that maybe we haven't discussed here at 3D Experience World that are also out there that your team is being engaged with?
So let me just maybe give a point. You made things about what we have been doing here with the 3D Experience for Good. Last year and this year, if you've been at the conference, you will see some remarkable differences. And we have expanded and showcased our community around the 3D Experience platform as well, because that has helped us. As I said this morning, everybody has passion for SolidWorks, but now with 3D Experience platform, we are able to share it more widely.
Yeah.
And both sort of metaphorically and literally as well, with the platform being able to collaborate. So that's why 3D Experience for Good, you saw what we are doing with the Ellen Meadows Foundation. What we were not able to, I briefly mentioned, but what we are doing with the Fab Labs across the world is an amazing thing as well. I've tried to share those things. And then, of course, our products, with 3D Experience platform is really helping us, kind of make it wider and broader.
Yeah, yesterday Sarah Youngins was over here and they were talking about a project that they were working on over in the education zone, how they were using the 3D Experience platform. for schools from around the world to engage in a project together collaboratively. That's another really cool example.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we have this internal world, we call it industrial renaissance.
Yeah.
And everybody out there is talking about Industry 4.0. And I've been talking to our press, and I'm like, well, Industry 4.0 for us is too narrow, right? It's there, but it's kind of talks about the factory floor, IoT, and all of that. For us, it's engineering 4.0 plus innovation 4.0 plus industry 4.0, and if you put it together, that's industrial renaissance. And one big part of that is also the renaissance where people are involved and the art, science, and business are coming together. And that's another trend which you will see in education and schools, even at universities level, where they're combining programs which combines art, science, and business, because to create products, to solve the needs, you need all three.
So where can folks who maybe aren't familiar with what we do with early engagement learn more about what SolidWorks is doing, how SolidWorks can get involved? Are there, is the blogs the right place to go? Is solidworks.edu the right?
All of them. I mean, look, the blogs, I mean, you can start by going to solidworks.com, and if you go into the education zone, you'll start to see it. You can subscribe to the blogs. Of course, we all, one of the things, even though we have 6 million users and we are quite a few of us, we always are there. So you can drop me an email, Jeremy, yourself, or Sarah, or Marie, or any of us.
Yeah.
It looks like a small team, but, we can do so much more, right?
So that's interesting that you say that, because whenever I engage with your team, and I'm not picking favorites, but it seems to always be the most outgoing team that I work with inside of the entire organization. If you have a question or want to get involved, I tell you, if you even mention interest in getting involved in something with Marie, she will grab a hold of you and she will pull you in to get involved. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pleasure because, to tell you frankly, we have to, because, we have such a wide audience to work with, and B, I mean, it's fun, right? It's fun for us. So
you get to do all the fun things.
I mean, I'll give you an example. Well, you guys watching online, you're not physically present here.
We want them to come next year.
Yeah, you should, because we had this. I was in Paris and we had this 360.
Yeah, I saw cylinder. That. I haven't had a chance to go over there yet.
So maybe if you guys, I don't know how you can show it to these guys, but that's an amazing experience, right? When you go in there, and so and why I brought this point is because, look, it was just a month ago we said, hey, wouldn't it be cool to get that experience, share with the whole community, and we made it happen, right? So that's, when there is a will, there's a way, right?
So I have to imagine leaving this event later on tonight, you're already thinking about what some of those new experiences might be here next year, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, there are a lot of things. I mean, look, a couple of years ago, we started the virtual reality theater, which is right there.
Yep.
For us, that was a new addition. Now we have this 360 VR experience. I think with all this technologies moving, whether it's AI, robotics, AR, VR, aptly we call ourselves 3D Experience Company.
Yeah.
So we want to bring experiences everywhere, both digital, virtual, physical, all of that.
Cool. Well, Suchit, I want to thank you for joining us here on SolidWorks Live. We have a lot yet to cover today. Momentarily, we're going to be joined by the winning hackathon team from yesterday. The voting ended last night. I think we have another interview coming up, and we have one last breakout session today. So stay tuned. We're going to be right back.
Thanks, Sean.